From the Newstalk ZB newsroom, this is Newsfix.
In this update, Chris Hipkins says if Labour's elected, it will deliver Dunedin Hospital exactly as promised. More than 35,000 people marched in Dunedin following news the build would be scaled back, the government saying costs had ballooned by more than $1 billion. The Labour leader's promising the hospital he himself pledged pre-election and is confident Labour will have the fiscal plan to pay for it.
Bearing in mind that we were not the only parties that promised that. In fact, if anything, the National Party promised a bigger hospital than the one that we had committed to. We will make sure they get at least what they were promised by us before the last election.
Pig farmers are not happy about the quantity of imported pork on supermarket shelves. The pork boards noticed an increase in foreign pork being sold in New Zealand. They say it's unfair. They're expected to follow stringent regulations. Pork produced overseas does not and could be sold more cheaply in New Zealand. NZ Pork CEO Brent Kleiss is urging shoppers to support New Zealand made.
We're in a time of living when costs are high and we understand that people want those options. What we're saying is that anything that does appear on the shelves should have to adhere to the same production standards.
Relief for Coromandel businesses as the Cathedral Cove walking track officially reopens. The beach has been accessible only by sea since the walking track closed in February last year after Cyclone Gabrielle. Conservation Minister Tama Potaka says the reopening's a big boost in the region's recovery after storms and COVID. Thames Coromandel District Mayor Len Salt says one of their biggest challenges was the internet not being able to respond to the closure.
Local business were at the receiving end of things that had changed, but the information that's out there that's bringing visitors in was not able to keep up with those changes in real time.
Police are continuing their crackdown on people breaching the new gang patch law. At least 4 people were arrested for displaying patches in Waitemata District, the Bay of Plenty, Taupo and Hastings yesterday. That's news. In sport, the Black Caps are ruining the dropsies that led to a hefty 8-wicket loss to England in the opening cricket test in Christchurch. New Zealand shelled a scarcely believable 8 catches in the first innings, with Harry Brook dropped 5 times on his way to an imposing 171. New Zealand captain Tom Latham says the Butterfingers display put them on the back foot when they could have been dominant. Auckland FC's quietly confident, influential skipper Hiroki Sakai will be available for next weekend's showdown with the Wellington Phoenix at Mount Smart. The right back missed the 2-0 football win over the Newcastle Jets because of a hamstring injury. Black Knights coach Steve Corica is eager to have the former Japanese international back on the field for the second edition of the Kiwi Classico.
He's had scans, it's clear. They're still obviously a little bit sore. I think he should be all right. We'll see how he goes next week, training-wise, and we'll go from there.
That's sport. I'm Joe Gilfillan.
For more news, listen to Newstalk ZB live on iHeartRadio.